Making a Star Wars movie is expensive. Making a good Star Wars movie seems to be the only way to recoup said expensive. And it's just too bad for Disney and Lucasfilm that good Star Wars films don't seem to be on the horizon anytime soon. But now, folks, we have confirmed from Forbes our reporting from almost a year ago on Valiant Renegade and from That Park Place. It turns out the real reason that Star Wars stopped releasing theatrical movies is because they were losing big money. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. We are happy to have you. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve by explaining entertainment every single day is what we do. Sorry, Disney. Sorry, entertainment companies. But truth is on our side. And we hope so are you. Click the like button, folks, as we help you decide whether or not we've got the goods when it comes to Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and more. Get ready, because this is something we brought out a long time ago, and now Forbes is confirming the biggest loser in all of cinematic history. Well, it just might be the sequel trilogy. Turns out that we have now confirmation on a scoop that you and Valiant Renegade had. And I don't know, Jonas, how long ago has it been that you all managed to get hold of the data when it comes to all of the costs associated with the Star Wars movies and shows?
At this point, I would put it at September of last year that we got confirmation on how much Rise of Skywalker cost, if not sooner.
Hey, Paul, real quick, Paul, I think I see your vehicle in this advertisement. Really good vehicle you got there.
That's right. I get two, and then we just hold hands.
They take corners like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, it's quite amazing.
This is an article out of Forbes, and Caroline Reed, who is always excellent, has the coverage here. And we now know, and folks, the numbers are going to blow your mind. We're going to come to Super Chats after this story, but I mean, get ready, because you are about to absolutely, as much as people have been flabbergasted, and I love every chance I get to say that word. We're going to add that to the must-do once a month flabbergast usage. As much as people have been flabbergasted by how badly Lucasfilm has been managed, these numbers are out of this world. Here we go. By Caroline Reed, Disney reveals Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker was below budget. Caroline uses that title in a very clever way to get people to come read this article. It's not below any kind of reasonable budget, I'll tell you that. Here's the article. The idea of saving money on a movie which cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make sounds bizarre, to say the least. However, that is precisely what Disney says it did on 2019's Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. It isn't exaggerating. Analysis of recently filed documents reveals that by March 2019, 1 month after filming wrapped, Disney said the movie was in line with the budget. However, post-production cost less than expected, and by the end of the year, less than 2 weeks after the movie debuted, Disney disclosed that it was below the production budget. That's despite the movie having total costs, folks, take a look at that, $588.2 million.
But it's below budget of that.
That's right. The budget must have been $600 million, Paul. I mean, this is crazy. Okay. So after The Last Jedi, they thought they really had the winds in their sails, and they must have earmarked at least $600 million for this movie. But hold on, folks, because guess what? That's not the marketing. That's just the production budget. The Rise of Palpatine now, we know, was close to $600 million in production alone. You add in marketing, it's at least $700 million. It's probably north, almost certainly north. In fact, I would very confidently estimate it at $750 to $800 million. So what does that mean? Well, it means that Disney needed a minimum of $1.6 billion in box office returns for Rise of Skywalker to break even. Jonas, you uncovered this first. Forbes is now confirming your reporting that you and Valiant Renegade did. I'm going to let you have the first shot at this. Explain to us how in the world Disney thought they could ever recoup this, and how much do we think this probably lost based on these numbers?
Well, I have to give all credit to Caroline Reed and the work that she's done over there at Forbes. She does fantastic work, and the latest addition is about 12.7 million GBP on here. And it occurs to me, like, how much money do you think Disney saved just by copying the idea of the ending of Avengers Endgame and just pasting that into Rise of Skywalker there? That she was, in fact, all the Jedi, and all the Jedi appear. And then when they go into space, it's not just the starships, it's all the starships ever that appear in space there. This is a thing that I don't know if Disney is ever going to get wise to the idea that we know exactly how much they spend over there in the UK. And this isn't counting all the below the line, above the line, whatever you want to call the people that, like the J.J. Abrams and those who get a fee taken out early on here. This is a massive amount of money, and the last time I calculated this, it was the exchange rates were different. Right now, I've got this at about $560 million just for the film itself, not counting and again, this is 2019. So this is before they wised up to the fact that they wouldn't be making more than $1 billion on everything. I wouldn't be surprised if this had a $250 million marketing budget easily.
So let's run through some quick numbers. We're looking at the numbers right now, which fancy that. Worldwide box office, $1 billion, $69 million in total worldwide box office revenues. This needed, again, I'll say it, it needed a minimum of $1.6 billion. That means that this movie likely came short $600 million, which is approximately 1/8 the entire cost they paid to buy Lucasfilm in its entirety in losses. So when Bob Iger came out and said that they were going to slow down the cadence of Star Wars films, and he talked about Star Wars fatigue, what he was really talking about is we can't lose $600 million again.
Well,
Guys,
okay.
This may be the biggest flop of all time.
Well, let me ask this question, and Jonas, I think I need to direct it at you. So as we've done the research with Companies House and we found out these numbers that, we've gone through, do they also take into account the amount of the tax, assessment that it changed in value? Hasn't it adjusted since the what was it? The Force Awakens?
They do have we're talking about the amount they spent in order to make the film. They did get tax credits on this. So
right.
Was the tax credit something like 25%, Jonas? Is that where it was?
It changes depending on the production. They only get a tax credit on the things that were done
there.
So
CGI and all that stuff is not going to go towards it.
Well, they do. Lucasfilm has an office in the UK. Industrial Light and Magic, I should say, has an office.
They've had that there when they acquired them. So,
which is the purpose of the tax credit, to try to get them to spend more money, as much money as possible in the UK. I think there's Disney Enterprises. There's a line item at the end of all the credits that says, for the purpose of copyright in the United Kingdom. This is
according to what I have, and this, I think Caroline has it in the article. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker received a $102.6 million reimbursement from the UK government.
All righty.
But still, if this thing costs $600 million, then it's $500 million after that.
Just imagine how much it would cost to make it a good movie.
$500 million plus marketing, we're still at $700 million. And that means it needs 1.4, 1.5 to break even. We're still looking at a $500 million loss on this weird film.
Let's also not forget that this was the movie that was actually, however narrowly, beaten by the R-rated Joker at the box office.
Ooh.
Well, it got its comeuppance, didn't it?
It did.
They took care of that
That's different. But you know what? Not even that one lost as much as Rise of Skywalker.
And we're mocking Joker 2 because it's so bad, so horrifically bad for Hollywood. But you're right. The difference is Disney hides how bad they lose, and the other companies have not managed to be as good at handling the message as Disney. That's the story of Star Wars, though, folks. That's why Rise of Skywalker was the end, essentially. Now, we could go into a solo Star Wars story and talk about that, but I think once they looked at these totals for Rise of Skywalker, I think that's when the plug was pulled, and they said, no, we financially can't do this. We cannot. And when you hear Kathleen Kennedy come out now, and it's not through her, right? But when you hear through the leaks that there's a new trilogy planned, 10, 11, 12, okay. And you're going to have the Dark Phoenix director do them. Okay. And you're going to have Rey potentially be in them as the Obi-Wan. Okay. 600 million times 3. That's what the potential losses could be if they continue with their mistakes. And I don't see any evidence that they've learned a single lesson from any of this, other than the fact that they stopped making movies. That's what I see. Often as we get ready to wrap these up, folks, you'll hear us say, keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun. And the reason we do it is because we appreciate you. It's true, we do. And we want you to have a good time. Thank you for giving us the great time of spending time with you. Folks, on the way out the door, consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it and stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. And drop a comment down below because you matter. Your thoughts matter. Who cares what the legacy corporate deadbeat media tells you? You really are important. And we're a testament to that. We wouldn't be here without folks just like you. And since we've said it, we'll say it once more. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.